Durotar, named after Thrall's father Durotan, is where many of you Orc Control players remember starting your adventures, your humble beginnings in the Valley of Trials, your exploration of the Echo Isles, and your battles with the Alliance of Tyrgard Keep, as well as your uncovering of the secrets of the Burning Blade. This is the story of classic Durotar, and I hope you enjoy. When you first start your journey through these dry and untamed lands, you'll be greeted by an orc who goes by the name of Kaltung. He will quickly scan over you, analyzing your physique and granting you the judgment that you are ready to become a soldier of the Horde. He then asks you to report to Gornek for your first task. Once you speak to Gornek, he seemed to be very judgmental of the player, at first saying things like, "A sorry state of affairs we find ourselves in is the best Horde can produce, and I could send you out to the Barrens but to hunt the Dakota, but well, in all honesty, you're more useful to us alive than dead." Seeing as how Gornek doesn't have much confidence in you, he will give you the humble task of killing boars. And even after that, finishing this grueling task, he makes sure you don't get too confident, telling you not to let it get to your head. Your adventure will continue exploring the Valley of Trials, collecting stingers from the scorpions that inhabit the valley to make an antidote for the orcish peons that have been poisoned, and cactus apples for Galgar, the village cook, for his famous Galgar apple surprise, until you arrive to Aretha Fargaze. She notices that you've gained strength since from when you first talked to Kaltung, and she tells you of the dark signs that are coming from the Burning Blade Coven to the northeast, and to slay vile familiars that are pouring out from the cave. On your journey to defeat these agents of the Burning Blade, you'll encounter an injured troll under a tree. He'll ask you as last parting quest for you to kill the insectoid that poisoned him, Sarkoth, a large scorpion to the north, and to collect his stinger. The scorpion is a worthy fight, but luckily he has already been greatly injured by Hanazwa, allowing you to gain the upper hand from Sarkoth, defeat him, and collect his stinger. After telling the injured troll that since you had managed to get a blow on Sarkoth before being poisoned, and this is the reason you had won the battle, it steeled Hanazwa's heart, and he asks you to ask Gornek to send him aid. Before you can return to the den, though, the demons inhabiting the outside of the Burning Blade Coven must be taken care of. Although relatively weak in physical strength, the familiars make this up in their cunning and magics, being able to cast fire blasts and bolts. But you do succeed in purging most of the familiars outside the Coven and begin your trek back to the den. Letting Gornek know of your meeting with Hanazwa and his request for aid, he is taken aback and impressed that you were able to take down Sarkoth and dispatch his aid to the troll's location. When you let Zaretha know that you slew the vile familiars outside the Burning Blade Coven, she tells you that although you defeated the foul creatures, there are even more powerful demons that lurk in the Coven. She tells you more of the Burning Blade Coven and how she seeks the Burning Blade Medallion, but to beware of the dark magics and creatures that lurk there, and an even greater threat holds the medallion itself. So you fight your way in, killing orc cultists and demons alike, until at the end of the cave, you find Yarok Boneshadow. You battle him and claim the medallion from his corpse. After telling Zaretha that you emerged victorious with the medallion, she congratulates you, but tells you this is not the last of the Burning Blade's dark schemes. She then tells you that your trials here in the valley are done, and to seek Master Godrin at Sinjin Village, and inform him that the Burning Blade has been found in the Valley of Trials. Once you reach the village and meet with Godrin, he is troubled by what you say, but he says this news comes at a bad time, and that although the orcs are close and honorable friends of the trolls, they have their own problems, and you must help them with theirs before aid can be given to the orcs. The Echo Isles are a large threat, and the troll warlock inhabiting the isles is only making this worse, Zalazane. Before you can start your work to aid at the Isles, Lar Prautusk brings you even more further troubling news. The centaurs to the west of Sinjin Village are scheming something, and he asks you to destroy the attack plans the Kolkar coveting. The Kolkar are an ancient centaur civilization that has been living in the Barrens and Durotar for years, but also hated enemies to the Tauren, trolls, and orcs. He tells you that if their invasion comes to fruition in the Valley of Trials, Sinjin Village and Orgrimmar, capital city of the Horde, could be lost. The attack plans are split up between 3 of their leaders, and they are found within Kolkar Crag. Within Kolkar Crag, you find each of the attack plans guarded by Centaur. You slay each of them and burn the attack plans they were guarding, securing the safety of the Horde. Once returning to Lar, he tells you that you have saved the Horde unnecessary blood and loss, and that you are to be rewarded fitly for doing so. Now that the Centaur have been taken care of, for now, Master Godrin tells you of Minshina, Godrin's brother, and how he was taken by the vile warlock Zalazane, that although his brother is dead, his spirit is bound by the voodoo troll's magics, and that Manisha's spirit is trapped within his skull on a large circle of power in the Echo Isles. Godrin asks you to retrieve his brother's skull so his spirit can be freed. Once you arrive to the Isles, the island is infested with trolls practicing voodoo magics, and you must fight your way through them to reach the skull of Godrin's brother. Almost foreshadowingly, Zalazane is near the skull, and he warns you if you return to the Isles again, you will die. When you return his brother's skull to Godrin, he thanks you, and the spirit of Minshina greets you and bows before disappearing, freed from the plight of Zalazane's magics. Now that Minshina's spirit has been freed, Zalazane must be stopped. Godrin asks you to take out the hexers and voodoo practicing trolls on the isle, but to beware of Zalazane. He is guarded by many dark magic practicing trolls, and Zalazane himself has the ability to heal allies as well as being able to use a variety of dark voodoo magics. On the Echo Isles, you find many trolls among ancient Gurubashi ruins practicing magics on strange rune circles, and on the largest isle stands Zalazane, atop a hill, just right above where you found the skull of Godrin's brother. The vile troll does not hesitate to use superior magics and numbers against you. But if you succeed in bringing the head of Zalazane, Godrin thanks you, and he tells you preparations can now be made to fully take back the Isles, now that Zalazane is gone. That is the end of the main storyline covering the Valley of Trials and the Echo Isles. In the next episode, we will be covering the quests in Razor Hill and Dranashar Blockade. Make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell to let you know when my new episodes go up. Until next time.